Good morning and welcome back. Wherever you guys are around the world, I just want to say thank you guys so much. My name is Dylan from Dylan's Home Espresso Bar, and today we are going to be looking at two different machines around the same price range to maybe help you guys pick the next machine for you guys if you guys are willing to upgrade for your espresso bar. So right here we have the Anita Evo by Quick Mill. And over here we have the Breville DualBoiler. So I'm just going to go over some specifications really quick on both machines. We're going to talk about price point. We're going to talk about how it fits on the counter, how tall it is, because I know a lot of people have been asking clearance-wise for this machine if it fits underneath their countertop. So I have the measuring device here, and we are going to go ahead and get to the video. My wife says, "Hi, honey." Hi, honey. Okay, so I just want to say a big shout out once again to Joe over at Espresso Outlet for sending me this machine to review for you guys. If you guys have any kind of espresso or coffee needs, make sure to go check out Espresso Outlet and make sure to put down in the comments, thank you, Joe, for allowing us to use this machine on the channel. So this review is going to be just looking at the specifications. We're going to talk about weight of the item, and then I'm going to do an edited video for you guys, and the edited video is going to be more in-depth look on both of these two, and we're going to go ahead and pull shots. I'm actually waiting on a bottomless porta filter that is also sent by Joe for the channel to review for this machine. So once that gets here, I will make the edited video for the two machines. So without further ado, let's get going. All right. So the very first machine on the list, let me just move this down for you. All right, so the very first machine is the Quick Mill Anita Evo. So people have asked me, how big is this machine truly? Because they say it looks a lot bigger than it might be on video. So going width-wise, we have about 11 1/4. Length is about 18 1/2. Height about 15 1/2. That is with the side rails here. So it is 15 1/2 going up. Again, it is 11 1/4 width-wise, and length-wise, I believe it was 18 1/2. So 18 1/2. So pretty big machine. Definitely takes up a lot of counter-wise, length-wise, not really width, but length. So definitely account for that. For example, this, if you guys have small countertops, you're going to want to just measure it out before. Like I said, this is pretty tall at 15 1/2, and that's with the cup rails. Someone asked if you can take these cup rails off. The answer is no, because these are actually built into the sides of the machine. So unlike the Linea Mini that you can add the cup rails, these are already added in, and it's a part of the actual build itself. So that you cannot. So we will go straight over to the Breville DualBoiler and get a size comparison for you guys over here. So here, width-wise, you're looking at about 15 1/4. So width-wise, you're definitely bigger on the Breville DualBoiler than the Anita Evo. Height, you're looking at about 14 1/2. So you're about an extra inch shorter on the Breville than you are the Anita. So definitely, if you have a smaller counter space, this is going to be the better option for you guys, especially if you want to put cups and stuff on top. It gives you an extra inch or two up there. And then for lengthwise, it's about 14 1/2. So this, obviously, if you look at the depth here, so I still have areas to put like a mat or something in the front here, as opposed to the Anita Evo. I mean, we're right at the edge. Like, this barely fits on my countertop. So this is also a more narrow countertop, but yeah. So now what we're going to do is we are going to look at startup times, because I know startup times for both machines, people want to know Well, they look great and all, but how soon can I experience a cup of coffee if I'm in a rush in the morning and I got to turn my machine on? So we're going to go ahead and turn both machines on at the same time, and we'll see what happens. So while we're waiting, this is a heat exchanger and the Breville is a dual boiler. So what's the difference? The dual boiler, both you can steam and pull a shot at the exact same time, but there is a pretty big difference on the both. So with the Breville dual boiler, it's got two boilers, hence the dual boiler. So pretty much there is a boiler for the group and a boiler for the steam and hot water spout. Both of the boilers will fill up with water, and it allows you a bigger reservoir for pulling your shot and steaming your milk. And this is going to heat up a lot faster than you guys will see here in a second. This guy over here is a heat exchange, and with the heat exchanger there is one single boiler and it's only filled up halfway, and then there is a steam valve that goes through that and gives pressure to the water spout and the steam wand, to where you can do both at the same time. However, like I said, there is only one boiler with the heat exchanger, so definitely you're going to get a little bit more consistency, and you can actually dial in this one, meaning there is a PID, so this is temperature controlled, as opposed to the heat exchanger where you do have to temperature surf. So if you don't want to temperature surf, that is a bit of a pain, and that's only if the machine sits idle for a little bit, or even if you just start the machine, you're going to want to release some of that steam first before pulling a shot, because that steam is going to be way too hot for espresso. So looking at just the build quality, weight-wise for the Breville dual boiler sits at about 30 pounds, and the Quick Mill Anita Evo sits at about 47 pounds. So definitely a bit heavier with this guy, and you can definitely tell when I unboxed both of them, because that one is significantly heavier. So about 17 pounds heavier than the Breville. Build. So we just talked about the weight of the machines. Build, I would say that the Anita Evo takes the build 100%. This thing is a tank. This thing's built very, very well. Made out of really nice stainless steel, as opposed to, I forget what this one's made out of, but it just feels more of like a cheap plastic machine. I mean, both machines are great, but just the actual build quality themselves, definitely go with a machine like this. So that is for the build quality. Now, as for being able to be like easy, user friendly, both machines are good. I would say more user friendly it's going to be with this guy, just because there is only one toggle switch here, and if you go to the 1, it just turns, pretty much gives you pressure at the group, and you go to 2 and it allows you to get pressure both at the group and the steam wand and hot water spout. Over here it does show the dials here of the bar pressure, and also the bar pressure for the steam and at the group. So there is that. And then over here it just shows you the pressure at the actual group itself. So this one has an easier to see dial because it's right in the front of the user face, as opposed to this one is kind of blocked by the bad placement, but it's really the only placement. Maybe they could have put it up here and then somewhere else, but it's just really cluttered, so it's really hard to see these unless this is moved over to the side like this. Which brings us to another point here, is the machine. Pretty much if you have any kids at home or just yourself, I burn myself already. With this machine, everything in this machine gets hot. This thing, the group head gets extremely hot, but that is known for an E61 group. The only thing that doesn't get hot are these two guys here and the handle, obviously. So this is a no burn steam wand. So what does that mean? You can grab the steam wand while you're steaming your milk and it doesn't get hot at all, which is nice. Now it does get a little bit, it doesn't get hot, but it gets warm, not too bad. And then also the hot water spout, which is nice. However, these right now are very, very cool. So I'll show you guys just a better look. These stainless steel right here is nice and cool, but when you go and you pull some shots, that is definitely extremely hot. So please watch out. This whole machine gets hot. I mean, the sides of this thing, the interface right here, just everything in this machine gets hot. So please, please be careful. If you have kids, make sure that they cannot touch this because it does get hot. As opposed to the Breville, you can touch anywhere on this thing and it does not get hot at all. Now, this is not a no-burn steam wand, so this will get hot while you are steaming, so that is just something to note. Also, with the drip tray, I'll talk about that. So this has a huge capacity. You can pull so many shots before you have to dump the water out of this. Probably double the size of the Breville DualBoiler's drip tray. So if that's something that you guys are looking at, definitely would recommend the Evo then. I would say water tank capacity. The Anita has a little bit more of a water capacity than the Breville DualBoiler. However, both do have a really good size capacity for water. So looking at another thing, both machines come with a tamper. So Breville, obviously, they're both 58 millimeter machines. Breville comes with a magnetic tamper that comes with the machine, and it gets actually held like that. So pretty nifty design by Breville. And then with this machine, it does come with the quick mill tamper, the wooden one here. So this is a pretty nice tamper as well. Almost dropped it. All right, so now, so while we're heating up, so this one, you can actually go ahead and pull a shot right now because it is ready to be pulled. This one you still cannot. However, it's going to take a little bit longer for this guy to get it to where you're able to steam and pull a shot at the same time, whether this one is pretty much almost done. So we'll take a look at that here in a second. As for cup warmer, so I know cup warmer is a big thing on both machines. With the Breville DualBoiler, the cup warmer does get pretty warm. I would say it gets warm. It doesn't get extremely, extremely hot, but it does get pretty toasty. This guy just takes it all the way because this machine is just stifling hot everywhere. And when this thing gets warmed up, the cup rail or the cup heater is really, really good. So if you want to keep your cups and your tamper and everything else warm, this is the guy for you. All right, so what do the machines come with? So this machine, the Anita Evo, comes with a single spouted Porta filter. It also comes with the double spouted Porta filter that we have here. I believe you do have to purchase the bottomless Porta filter on its own because it does not come with that. It comes with a blind basket. A blind basket is just used for back flushing and cleaning your machine at the group. And then that's pretty much all this machine comes with, except it does also come with a group head shower head cleaner. So that is pretty nice. And then we'll come over to the DualBoiler. It does come with all different kinds of baskets. So it comes with the blind basket as well. It's just like a little tablet that you put, or a little plastic or silicone piece that goes inside the dual wall basket. It comes with two dual wall, the single and double cup dual wall cup, and it also comes with a single wall cup as well for single cup and double cup. And then as for the Porta filters, it does come with one 58 millimeter dual spouted Porta filter as well. However, I did purchase the bottomless Porta filter on my own through Amazon. I will link this down in the description below. Really, really nice wooden finish for the Breville. I've had this since I've gotten the machine and I have thoroughly enjoyed it. So the Breville Barista Express is ready to pull a shot, and so wow, that was actually perfect timing. The Breville and the Anita Evo are both ready to pull a shot and steam at the same time. So as for startup time, both machines are pretty much spot on with each other. So it took maybe what, 15 minutes to turn on for both of them. Now, I would recommend waiting 20 minutes or maybe even 25 or 30 at the max or the minimum, so that way you allow for both machines to heat up at the same time. Or so you allow them both to heat up, so that way you have a really hot group, so that way your shots are more consistent. So consistency is key. All right, so what is another difference between the both of these machines? So with the Breville DualBoiler, it's a lot easier to see the water reservoir and when you are actually running out of water. So it shows indicator here, which I will show you guys up close. All right, so here you have the water level indicator, and it has an LED light in there so you can see the water level, which is a really nice feature. And with the Breville DualBoiler, something that Breville did a really good job at is being able to push this button. You can actually fill the water tank from the top here, which is a really cool touch from Breville, as opposed to going all the way in the back of the machine and filling in the water. So that is a huge, huge plus that Breville did, and I think that is really, really nice. Now, like I said, this machine does have PID, so where you can see here, it tells you the temperature. You can change that really easily, so that is something that I would definitely recommend. There is a clock on here. It tells you how many seconds you can go through and run through the interface here, so you can go 1 cup, dual cup. You can do your shot temperature. You can do your auto start on and off, so whenever you want your coffee machine to turn on every day. Now, unfortunately, you can't do this per day, like schedule it throughout the week. You can only do it once you schedule it. It does it every single day at that time, unless you change it. Clean cycle, really easy. You just go to that, put your tablet in, press the illuminated manual button, and then it automatically runs through its 6-minute cycle, so extremely easy. And then here is where you can set the clock, so that way, obviously, it's accurate when you are wanting to start your machine. So really easy to use. Manual button is really nice when pulling a shot. You can kind of control exactly what you're doing. You can start it and stop at the same time. You can also do the volumetric single and double cup button, but I would just stay away from these as well. All right, so when we come over here, a big thing that I have to say about this machine is the fact that, like I said, it's really hot. I've already mentioned that. You can't see the water level when it comes to the machine. To actually fill the water is back here in the machine, so it's in the back. So it is, so like if you have stuff in front of it like this, it does create a bit of a pain. However, most machines, water reservoir is in the back, and you have to fill it from the back, as opposed to like the Breville, where you can actually fill it from the front, which is nice. And then this one, you gotta just have to check the water reservoir to see how much water you have. Otherwise, you're gonna go pull a shot, and you're not gonna get the shot you wanted. So, also another big, big downfall, but it's okay. It's just minor. So let's talk about clutteredness. So with this machine, my only big pet peeve is the fact that this machine is very cluttered. So let's say you have everything in here, because you're not, I mean, I wouldn't just keep these out like this if the machine wasn't on, but I'd keep them in. Now, if this is in, it actually covers, if you look here. So the actual hot water spout covers where the actual steam, or where the pressure is. So this lever right here actually controls. So the first step is moving it out halfway, and then it just gives it a little bit of tiny pressure to the group, and then you pull it up all the way, and then it gives full pressure to the group head. But this really gets in the way. In order to use this, you have to move this out of the way, which is kind of annoying. But I mean, it's just kind of like a small little gripe about the machine. The steam wand is at a good place. I do like how much range of motion you have. So with the steam wand, I mean, you can go at 360. So it comes all the way over here. It comes all the way over there. It can come down. It can twist. So a lot of mobility with this steam wand. You can steam over here, as opposed to the Breville, where it is a fixed wand to a certain extent. I mean, you can come out here It's not as mobile. It's a lot stiffer to move, but it does move pretty well. It does have pretty good range of motion, but this obviously, with the pressure, this is a, I believe a 2-hole. No, this is a 3-hole. So this is a 3-hole steam wand, which is nice. I think this thing froths like a beast. I love the way this machine froths. Very easy to control, and it's about 30 seconds long, which is more than enough for at-home use. It's got this nice little lever here to control the steam, which is nice. Now it doesn't go small to high. It just opens and closes the valve, and that's about it. So really no extra pressure or controlling it, because it's just pretty much like an on-off switch over here. As opposed to the Anita, you can really control. So like if you come just a little bit, so here you have just a little bit of steam, and then you can really open it up, as opposed to the Breville where you cannot. So that is definitely something as well. Now with both machines, they both have a hot water spout that works really, really well. A lot more water does come out of the Anita at a faster flow rate than the Breville DualBoiler, but that's definitely not a must-have. So that's definitely up to you guys. Now, obviously, there's one thing that is most important, and that is price. So the Breville DualBoiler is coming in at about $1,500, as opposed to the Anita Evo, which is sitting right around $1,700. I believe it's like $1,695, but it's like $1,750 if you don't get it on sale. But it's been on sale for a while now, so $200 difference. I say you definitely get a better build. You definitely get a lot more heat with this machine. I would say this machine is a bit cluttered, which is a con. It does come with a good amount of supplies to get you going, and it's definitely a durable and probably an easy replaceable, easy workable machine to have. Now the Breville is definitely a bit more plasticky. It has good quality as well. It's obviously not built like this, which is like a high grade stainless steel, as opposed to, I don't know what this is, kind of like a plasticky feel to it, but it's not. And obviously this comes in at about $200 less. Now, one thing to keep in mind, and to just give yourself a little mental note, is the fact that both of these machines do not have a grinder. So each machine is going to have to be paired with a grinder. This machine I've had for about 6 to 7 months, maybe even longer now, and I absolutely love the the Breville DualBoiler. It has amazing temperature control at the group. I would say I have not opened this up yet. I will be opening this up soon, and I will show you guys the internal components of this machine eventually. I cannot open up that one because that's not my machine. Again, that machine was sent to me to review from Joe from Espresso Outlet, so go check out his channel. But like I said, both of these machines require a good grinder, or a grinder in general. Now, you can go, let's say, a lot of times you can see these paired together, the Breville DualBoiler and the Breville Smart Grinder Pro, and you can get these for like $1,600, so, or $1,700. So you can get both of these right here for the same price as this, and you have a grinder. However, I would suggest upgrading a little bit better than the Smart Grinder Pro, especially if you have a machine to this caliber. Because this is a pretty high price point to be at a house. So for home use, these are both great machines. You can't go wrong with either one. It's definitely just preference. So each machine, they say you should spend about half the amount on a grinder as you do the espresso machine. So obviously these are coming in $1,500, $1,700. You should spend around $700 for $500 to $700 on a grinder. So this is, I know we're not doing a grinder review, but this is about $500 for the DF64 flat burr, and you can go with like a niche, which is about $750. So that would be a good pair for both of these machines. So just keep that in mind. This is really like a $22 to $2,000 coffee setup. So just keep that in mind, and let's move on. So we've already pretty much described the build quality, the price, This is obviously a lot more clutter-free because you have the steam on over here, the tamper over here, and the group. You don't really have to move anything to pull a shot, as opposed to this one you obviously do. I think over time maybe this would need replacement just because it's constantly moving it up and down, as opposed to the Breville where you're just pushing a button. Both startup times are about 15 minutes. I would suggest to wait about 20 to 30 if you want the best maximum espresso possible in the mornings. Both of these they are both 110 volts, so you can hook them up to a smart timer, or just like a smart block, to where you do have these machines turn on. Now, the companies don't recommend that because it's going through another power circuit and it could short circuit the power or the outlet or the machine. So I just am weary about plugging them into a smart switch. It's just easier, especially with the DualBoiler, because you can set the timer every morning to just turn on for you. Now, both machines do work great, like I mentioned. I don't recommend descaling machines unless you purchase the machine and it looks like it's in rough shape. Then I would definitely descale them. But as for flushing and cleaning the machine, both machines are extremely easy. This one, you just set a tablet in there and you're done. With this machine, I have not flushed it out, but I'm sure it's pretty simple. It's just moving this lever on and off, probably for about 5 or 6 cycles, kind of like the Linea Mini, I'm assuming. But other than that, let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Are one of these machines maybe your next upgrade for your home espresso bar setup? If you guys are new, I'm just going to do one more time where I just show you guys the measurements on both machines. So this is about 11 1/4 width, about 18 1/2 length, about 15 1/2 height. The cup rails are a part of the machine. You cannot remove them. Breville is about 15 width, about 14 1/2 length, and about 14 1/2 height. So if counter space is something you're worried about and its height, I would definitely go with the Breville DualBoiler, especially because it will sit under your counter and allow you a little bit more room for cups up top or shot glasses. With the Anita Evo, it is very, very long. It barely fits on the countertop here. I don't even have a hands storage area over here, as opposed to the Breville. I could put almost a full hand on the counter. So that's definitely something to keep in mind as well. Both are really nice machines. Obviously, this one's coming in about 47 pounds. This is about 30 pounds. So definitely up to you guys as well when it comes to build quality. Both are very, very good machines. If you take care of both of them, they're going to last you a long time. I can say that the Anita Evo is probably going to be a little bit better build. It's going to last you a little bit longer, and it's probably a little easier to replace the machine as opposed to the Breville, where I know internally it's a lot of plastic, so definitely keep that in mind as well. Now, as opposed to like which machine I believe is the better machine, I really like a DualBoiler only because it has PID you can control. You don't have to spend time temperature surfing, because that steam on the machine, because it is a heat exchanger, it is boiling hot water to where it is too hot to actually pull a good shot of espresso unless you can manage the heat, which this machine, it just takes the guesswork out and you don't have to do that. So if you want to get up in the morning, you don't want a learning curve, you want to just make good quality espresso and steam and froth some milk, I would definitely say the Breville DualBoiler is the clear winner. However, if you don't mind that, the heat exchanger is a really good machine as well. I've been using it for quite some time. It does also come with a variability for a steam hole tip. It did come with the 2-hole, and I put the 4-hole on. I definitely would recommend the 4-hole over the 2-hole, especially for this machine. And this is a 3-hole steam tip. This froths milk in about maybe 15 to 20 seconds, and this is about 30 seconds, so not a huge difference there, especially if you're at home and you're just making coffee for people. It's not really going to make a big difference. Both machines can't be used for commercial use, only good home use machines. So definitely keep that in mind as well. Now, one thing I can say is if you guys have a bigger milk pitcher like this one, this is a 750 milliliter milk pitcher. This one, you can steam it pretty easily because of how deep the steam wand goes, as opposed to the Breville. It doesn't go down far enough because the steam wand's not as big. So that's something also to keep in mind. Or you can just take a cup like this, a pitcher like this, froth your milk, and then transfer into a pitcher like this. So not a big problem. Just wanted to bring that up because we're looking at the specifics on both machines. So again, if you guys are new to the channel, welcome to the channel. My name is Dylan with Dylan's Home Espresso Bar. If you guys have made it this far in the video, I know there's 22 of you guys watching and there's 6 likes. If we can get that up to 22 likes, that would be amazing for this video while we're on live right now. I appreciate all of you guys' love and support. You guys have been absolutely amazing. I've really enjoyed you guys, and you guys have definitely kept me pushing to make more content for you guys. I've made quite a bit of content in the last couple of days. I'm trying to make more content for you guys so I can get more out there for you to help you guys out. Obviously, this was a comparison between like the specs of both of these machines here. Big shout out to Joe again from Espresso Outlet for sending me this machine to review for you guys. Definitely, I've had a great time playing with this machine. I think you guys would as well. Can't go wrong with the Breville DualBoiler either. Both are very, very good machines, but very, very different. So if you guys made it this far, make sure to hit that like button. If you guys have not already, make sure to hit that subscribe button. About 80% of you guys who watch my videos aren't subscribed. Come join the family and subscribe to the channel. I really, really appreciate it. Also, merchandise is available. I have Dylan's Home Espresso Bar shirts, also Espresso Bar hats. I have knockbox bean vaults. I actually just made this as well. This is an Acacia scale cover here. So this is made out of wood and it fits perfectly on your Acacia. I can make this whether you want the logo or not. These are available on dylanshomeespressobar.com and on my Etsy page. These are $25. I hand make them and hand stain them and put my logo on them. Now I can make them without the logo as well upon a request. I do make that for any scale as well, as long as you give me the dimension, and also for the Acacia. So I don't have it on the Acacia yet. I'm going to be making that either today or tomorrow. But again, appreciate all of your guys' support with that as well. So if you guys are interested in that, I also have the knockbox here and the bean cellar over there. Any proceeds that go to me from buying on my websites or super chats or super sticker on YouTube here will go directly back into the channel, where I'll purchase more things for you guys so we can review some more coffee tools and equipment, and I'll edit some more videos for you guys upcoming. So again, for all of you guys who are watching, there's 24 of you guys. I really appreciate all of your love and support for the channel. I hope that I made your decision a little bit easier on your next level espresso machine. I will be doing another edited review. However, that edited review is going to be pulling shots, showing you guys the steam abilities, and that's going to be an edited video. So I really, really appreciate you guys. I hope I made your decision a little easier. If these aren't the machines that you're looking for, you guys can go ahead and message down below in the comments what machine are you most interested about and upgrading to when when the time comes. So I'll definitely try to help you make a decision based on the machine you list down below. However, if I've never used that machine, I will do some research and just show you guys what I think. So let me go ahead and read some of these questions really quick. Let's see. Just want to give a big shout out to everyone who is watching. Is the water tank on the DualBoiler easy to clean? No. So I would say the water reservoir is easier to clean on this guy because that just has pretty much a spot here where you can just pick up the water tank and bring it out, as opposed to the Breville DualBoiler. You have to pull the machine out and then it's in the back and you have to pull the whole thing out, which it's not that hard, but if you don't want to move the machine, definitely go with this one because everything's on the top that you can just pull out. Here it does not, but the Breville dual boiler does have a little lever here that brings the machine up so it's easy to scoot, as opposed to this machine. It's really heavy and you have to move it yourself. So definitely a really good question. Good question. Let's see, just kind of scrolling through here. What about the longevity of the Breville dual boiler? I've had the Breville dual boiler for, like I said, 4 to 6 months. I'm not sure, but I've had no issues with it. It's absolutely a great machine. Would definitely recommend it to anyone as well. What would everyone choose of these two? Yeah, really interested to know which machine you guys would pick. If I was going to purchase, I would pick the Breville dual boiler. Can't go wrong with it. Really good machine, and you guys know that based on my reviews and seeing my lives. You can get a group head thermometer for the heat exchanger. Makes it so much easier. Yeah, so that's definitely a good option if you go with the heat exchange, so you don't have to really temperature surf as much. At least you have an idea. I have to have a machine that heats up fast. Does the steam one quick mill thermally insulated? Yes, so this is a no burn steam wand, so you can hold this thing while you're steaming and it does not get hot. Maybe warm, but not hot at all. Thanks. Is the Breville dual boiler serviceable? The Breville dual boiler is serviceable. I know you do get a warranty with the machine. Now, like I said, internally it's a bit more plasticky than the Anita Evo, but both machines are serviceable to a certain extent. I would definitely say that serviceability, you're going to get a little bit better quality out of the Anita just because of how it's built. So I'd go with the quick mill. Yeah. So Dane, I know you'd go with the quick mill. The quick mill is a great machine, but the only biggest thing is obviously is the learning curve of temperature surfing, but that's not too bad. The R58 is my dream. So yeah, that's a good machine as well. Definitely, you can't go wrong. Any machine you purchase, anything over like the $1,000 to $1,200 range for at-home use is perfectly good. I mean, that's gonna be the best upgrade. The Barista Express, I've had it for a year now. I still use it. It's actually in the other room to make room for the new machine temporarily until I send this back, and then Joe sends another one to review. But all machines are great, especially for at-home use. It's better than spending $6 at Starbucks for a coffee that's not even that great, or Dunkin', in my opinion. Quick mill has no PID, right? Correct. That is a heat exchanger, and you do have to temperature serve. Only pressure stat. So yeah, it does have the pressure stat for the bar pressure on the group and the bar pressure for the steam and hot water spout, which is a nice touch. So again, thank you so much. If you guys have any more questions, leave them down in the comments below. Based on these two machines, which one would you choose and why? Definitely make sure to hit that thumbs up button on the channel. There's 23 of you watching. There's 14 likes right now. Really appreciate it. Also, really appreciate the love and support by purchasing a Dylan Thomas Espresso Bar t-shirt, sweater, hat, and like I said, I have all the other equipment as well. I believe the quick mill is hard to play with. So yeah, I mean, it's just, if you really love espresso, it's not that bad, but it definitely is a little bit more of a learning curve. You just need to purge the machine, and the temperature is okay usually, but I wouldn't bother with a huge, I'd jump to an E61 dual boiler. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, that's a good point. It's really not too bad. All you have to do is lift this up, let it run for like maybe 5 to 6 seconds on the pre-infusion, and then cut it off. Make sure all that steam from the group head is completely released, and then you should be fine to pull shot, which is not hard. All right, so I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning into the video. I really hope that this video helped. Hold on, I think there's one more question. Thanks, last one. How about the Sylvia with a PID compared to these machines? I don't steam milk really, so ignore that attribute. I've heard that the Ranchelia Sylvia is a great machine for espresso. I know, yes, you can put in that Auber or any kind of PID with the machine. I have not used the machine. Now there is someone on YouTube. You guys probably know who he is. His name is Hoon. He had the Ranchelia Sylvia. He actually just sold it. I'm not sure how much he enjoyed that machine, but I would definitely say that this machine is great. It's a bit of a price difference with the PID, with the Ranchelia Sylvia. I think it's around, correct me if I'm wrong, $1,200 as opposed to this machine, which is about $1,700. So definitely a bit of a price difference there, but I definitely say that with me having this machine at my house right now, this is a great heat exchanger to use. And Quick Mill definitely has a good brand of espresso machines as well. All right, so I just want to thank you guys so much for just kind of your support for the channel, also for your participation. It really, really helps the video. If you guys have questions, please, please, in any video, if it's edited, if it's live, leave them down in the comments below. I'm here to help you guys. I do this because I absolutely love coffee, and especially to help you guys, especially for new home baristas out there who are struggling. I love to help you guys as well. So again, a big thanks to all of you guys for supporting the channel. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys. And until next time, stay caffeinated. Peace. Thanks for watching.